It would appear there are no more heroes left for us gamers because Bungie has gone evil route. Oh, they fell from grace, you guys. This is Cal's opinion, and this one really sucks, but it has come out that Bungie has recently done layoffs, and regardless of how great the final shapes, the most recent expansion for Destiny 2, was going to go, they were going to have to do these layoffs regardless because leadership has been under-delivering on their financial promises to Sony. Now, as you know, Sony bought Bungie as, the video game wars continue because Microsoft has been acquiring a lot of high-quality studios, and Sony, while in a stronger position in this console market, is just not, it doesn't have Microsoft's checkbook to be able to compete with these guys. They got a bank account that could blow apart an asteroid or something. You don't need to send a rocket like in those old 90s movies, man. You just freaking throw Microsoft's bank statement at it. But last month, Bungie laid off 220 people, which sucks. It just goes back to the theme of A Cow's Opinion for pretty much the entirety of this opinion show, that the video game industry was greatly overinvested in during the pandemic, and now they are paying the price. People have been venting about it, especially because the CEO, Pete Parsons, recently spent $2.4 million on vintage vehicles over the past 2 years. And here it is, $2,414,550. That is a lot. This is also by Mr. Harvey Randall, I believe. Yep. Which really, really sucks when you're also firing people. Now, interesting enough, there's even more bad news because journalist Stefan Totilo, I hope I get your name right, Stefan, had spoken with several former Bungie employees who have remained anonymous, probably because, they don't want to give up their severance or break any kind of contract. But the newsletter is saying that this is happening because Bungie's leaders overstated their studio's financial prospects to Sony, and these cuts were needed to stop the losses that amounted to an ongoing reality check. One of them even told the journalist that they think Sony has overpaid for Bungie. Now, this is exactly, kind of a theme. Microsoft spent $69 on Blizzard, followed up by layoffs. And then Embracer bungled their $2 billion financing deal after they bought all those studios, making them break themselves into pieces and close down many studios and then sell many beloved IPs as they're trying not to go down the drain. But even worse, these layoffs were decided in advance. The last year cuts quickly realized to be insufficient by at least early this year, so probably February, March, which means for at least 4 months, they've known that they were going to have to do this. No, and the most recent expansion, the final shape, doesn't matter if it sells huge. The promises they made to Sony are not being delivered. The studio's leadership has allegedly wrote checks that they couldn't cash, did not take cuts to their own pay, laid off staff in October of last year, and then knew for months that wouldn't be enough, yet still managed to have some employees find out they'd be losing their jobs via Twitter. The fact that they did all that work and then they're getting rewarded for their stupidity sucks. And is unfortunately just part and parcel for what we're seeing. Because the mistakes that the people in charge of video game studios have been doing have been, unfortunately, overwhelming any kind of great game that all these people can produce. They're calling it enduring economic conditions. In other words, we screwed up. Right after a great performance review, I got laid off, says artist Weston T. Jones. This is how I found out I'm laid off, added sound designer Zvi Sherman, based on the fact that he commented on... Why would you comment on Twitter? I'll tell you why they commented on Twitter. It started getting out, and Bungie wanted to be, the official source. They're like, oh, people are talking. We got to go ahead and do this quick. One example, Kelly, who is a former producer, was laid off right before she received her maternity leave benefits. It's just really bad timing because my maternity leave was supposed to start next Monday, and I got laid off today with her child due any day now. Not gonna lie, after I found out this morning, I kept crying because of pregnancy hormones, but also this is the first time I've been laid off, and it's not even my fault. She contacted Bungie's HR to see if she's still eligible, but later reveals that her benefits are gone because she was fired before the baby was born. Meanwhile, like I said, the CEO has spent $2.4 million of his own money on vintage cars. Now, look, you can do whatever you want with your own money. However, when you're not taking pay cuts yourself and you've overpromised to Sony, Big Daddy Sony, and then you keep firing people, oh, it's not enough, we got to fire more, it's a terrible, terrible look. Now, Twitter account Destiny Nostalgie discovered the profile named BNG Portions on a bidding website, bringatrailer.com. Adding the winning bids between the dates of June 1st and September 23rd produces this number above. So literally somebody managed to find his freaking Bungie P. Parsons. Are you kidding me? At least try. So yeah, he tracked 1.5 years, 2 years worth of bids. And these are the winning bids that he's made just on that website. He then went on to cross-reference photos of the account's won bids with appear to be photos of Parsons showing off his collection for what it's worth, doing on his own digging along with deleted tweets. A photo at the end of his set of tweets ends E30M3, which directly corresponds to the photo of a 1990 BMW M3 to the account for $180,000 in October of 2022. And here's the screenshots. Yeah, I've included screenshots of the tweets and the Bring a Trailer listing here, since I wager Parsons simply missed him. What appears to be, yeah, he realized how stupid he was and he did it. Now, in Harvey's opinion, this is pretty damning. Although what it damns is subject for debate. When it comes to the kind of money Bungie makes, 2.4 is pocket change, and not buying these cars would not have saved the current woes. And again, it's his money to spend. But the fact that he has millions of dollars to throw just at vintage cars while he keeps firing people is a bad look. I'm all for spending your money how you want, but you have to take care of your employees too, or else who's going to make the awesome games next time? Nobody, that's who, because you don't have nobody. And now former community manager Leanna Rupert made a lengthy post on Twitter expressing similar frustrations. I remember the Friday before the first layoffs, me and another community manager were in the lobby, and I was literally talking about how I didn't have enough money for groceries. Pete walked right up to us and bragged about a few new expensive cars he bought, and that we should come to his house and see them. Tone-deaf Parsons is what this idiot is called. To see so many patients... patience? I've been playing 2 Point Campus a lot, I apologize. To see so many employees out of a job following the critical success of Bungie 2's latest expansion, The Final Shape, reminds the author of the list of things that will no longer keep you safe in the industry, written by indie dev Maiz O. Dorachiat during GameWorks closure. Making something good is not a guarantee of safety. The storm of Damocles is hanging over developers' heads, and regardless of whether they do good work or not, but at least Parsons can afford his cars. So what is the cow's opinion? Bungie now sucks. Bungie is now getting to be the new Activision Blizzard, which was the new EA, which was the... God, man, every time we think that some company can't get much worse, another rises to take its place upon the dark throne. And it's really starting to irritate me, man. This is caused by years of good times, followed by the pandemic, which was a great time. But then these studios were sold at sky-high prices or got tons of invested money. And then when the pandemic ended, life returned to normal. And look, video game spending is still going up, but it's not hitting the massive levels during the pandemic anymore. We got lots of stuff to do. I'm going to go see Deadpool tomorrow. We can go see movies. We can go see tons of stuff, you guys. We can see a lot of stuff. And we can do a lot of stuff with our time. And unfortunately, these game companies just didn't get the message. And again, Parsons can spend his money however he wants. He's a big boy. But the fact that you would walk up to somebody who was just complaining, I can't afford groceries, and then brag, come see my millions of dollars of cars that I'm buying with all the success we're having. It's too stupid. Look, guys, as always, this is an opinion show. I want to know your opinion. Put it down in the comments below. And you know what else you can do? You can play more games, because games are awesome. And yes, Destiny 2 is awesome. It would just be more awesome if Bungie were to share that with other people. And I'll see you guys next time. They need to get this guy to just go talk to Parsons for a minute. I bet he could get him to behave a bit.